Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Against the Public for June 21st. I'm Dana Lane. Today, we're going to go through my top three Major League Baseball free plays for Friday, and then we'll wrap it up with my betting tip for the day. And today, we're going to get an update on how bettors are doing against the money line by percentage bet. So, for instance, we'll take a look at hey, if a team is getting between 50 and 59% of the betting dollars. Let's see how the public did when that percentage is going that way. You get what I'm saying? 60 to 69%. We'll take a look at how the public is doing there, and so on and so forth. We'll also break it down by overall record, and we'll break it down with games that are minus $1.50 to plus money. So we'll break it down a lot. It's very interesting just to know where bettors stand. After the show, please go to Pickdawgz.com. I'll have my premium Major League Baseball card locked in, loaded. You can also jump on my single plays or my Major League Baseball 3-pack for just $49.99. Every single play, every 3-pack comes with our Pick Dawgz win guarantee that states you must profit or receive an immediate site credit for the purchase price. Also, you know, there's only one way to get every single one of my selections for one low price, and that's to become an all-access customer, and many people have done so. I always appreciate the people, even if you just get a week, I appreciate that. But if you get a 30-day pass, it's just less than $11 a day. A 90-day pass is less than $10 a day. Or better yet, guys, ride with me for the next year for just $3.56 a day. That is by far my best offer that we have on the table. And guys, we know that Game 6 of the National Hockey League Stanley Cup Final is tonight, and we've absolutely been smoking the NHL. We've crushed 63% winners on the ice over the last 30 days. That's number one amongst handicappers with at least 20 plays. And over the last 90 days, that's 55.3% winners. So we've shown it over a long period of time. We've shown it during the postseason. It is time to make sure you get involved. And if you don't bet hockey, it's not a big deal because it's all about, it doesn't matter where the money comes from, guys, as long as it does. And we got 2 games at the most left in the hockey season. So let's jump on both of these. Let's win some money, and let's start putting that money away for football. Let's roll the sleeves up. Get to pickdawgz.com right now. Okay, on to your free plays for Friday. Remember, these are probables, so confirm before placing your wager. We're going to start things off 2:20 Eastern Time, 9:51, 9:52. New York Mets against the Chicago Cubs. Cubs minus $1.52, 8.5 under, minus 24. Jose Quintana against Shota Imanaga. The early betting on this game shows that the public is more divided than normal. The numbers first came out, and 58% of the dollars are on the Cubs. And usually we're not in the 50s this early on. Usually we're not in the 50s ever. I mean, it's most of these games when they go off, it is a very definitive 80% money is on one way, 90%. Well, you'll see that when we go over the numbers, but they're certainly not divided when it comes to the total. 71% of the money is on the over. It looks like it's just smaller money. There's nothing significant, so there's no movement yet. So not professional money is behind those moves. Mets offense, they've started to find their way a little bit. 35 runs in their last 4 games, 8.75 runs per game in that span. That's helped the Mets cash overs in 3 of their last 4 games. And the Cubs, right behind them, not as impressive, but 17 runs in their 3 games against the San Francisco Giants, which will be more than enough to push this game over the total. Quintana is 2-5, a 4.98 ERA. He's allowed 13 earned runs in his last 25 and 2/3 innings. That's a 4.56 ERA. The total is based on Imanaga alone, 7-1, 1.89 ERA, but has given up 11 earned runs in his last 22 and 1/3 innings. That's a 4.43 ERA, and if he gets close to that, we're going to go over this total of 8.5, which it feels to me like a little bit of a trap, and we're going to get a little bit of plus money with that too at plus $1.02. 6:40 Eastern Time, 9:53, 9:54. Arizona Diamondbacks against the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies minus $1.42. 9.5 is your total. Jordan Montgomery against Taijuan Walker. 97% of the early wagering is on the Diamondbacks. 75% of the money is on the under. We see a small drop in the consensus number from Philadelphia minus $1.46 at open to $1.42. The consensus total open at 9.5 over minus 12, and now we're down to $1.10. Arizona pitching was terrific. against the Nationals, allowed just 5 runs in 3 games against the Nats, who have been amazing against the money line this year for bettors. Phillies weren't as good against the Padres, but allowed 10 runs in their 3-game set, which is good enough here. Montgomery's last outing was certainly the best of his season. I don't think it's debatable. The only thing that's debatable is it was against the Chicago White Sox. 5 innings, no earned runs against the Sox. Montgomery has allowed 3 earned runs in his last 10 in 2/3 inning. We are certainly waiting for Taijuan Walker to regain his form over the last couple of years. He's 30-13 wins-loss record over the last 3 seasons. I think Walker's going to get into the 6th inning at least in this game. 9.5 is a little bit too high for me, so I'm going to go under that 9.5. And then 9:40 Eastern Time, 967, 968. Minnesota Twins minus $1.65, 7.5 over. Looks like it might be 8 in some places now. Looks like consensus number is 8, so we're going to have to go with that. Against the Oakland Athletics, Chris Paddock against Joey Estes, and we almost got this number out at 7.5, and I knew it was 7.5 over minus $1.24, so the dam was about to burst, and it burst before we can get this out. But now we're up to 8 minus $1.10 each way. 59% of the money is coming in on the Oakland Athletics, with 89% on the over, which is basically why we don't have a 7.5 anymore. Chris Paddock has given up 4 earned runs or more in 3 of his last 4 starts, a 7.96 ERA. Joey Estes has given up 9 earned runs in his last 7 2/3, a 10.56 ERA. 6 of the Twins' last 9 games have cashed over tickets, while the A's have averaged a productive 5.25 runs per game over the last 4. We're going to go over the 8 in this game. And that's your 3 free plays for today. Before we close the show, here's your handicapping tip for Friday. And I promised we would just go over anybody who's got access to bet percentages, and they're not that hard to find. You can just Google it, and there's some pretty reputable websites out there that will give you accurate percentages. But I just wanted to update betting trends by percentages this year in 2024. So we'll go through this quick. Teams getting 50.1 to 59% are 54-70 this year. Still minus 20.98 units. 60 to 69%, they're 69-63, a little bit over 500. 535 win percentage, just a little bit into the red, minus 0.52 units. 70 to 79%, 85-79, starting to climb a little bit, but more into the red again, minus 6.03 units. 80 to 89%, a little bit of a jump again, 116 and 106 in 2024, a 523 win percentage, but minus 16.66 units. Now, this certainly indicates to me that as we get higher in the bet percentages, you are being asked to pay more on the money line, which is why the units lost goes up, while your win percentage goes up as well. And of course, 90 to 100%. This is where you can do some damage. This is where the majority of games fall. This year, 271 and 146, a 650 win percentage, plus 37.24 units. Now, better beware on this. Over the last 3 seasons, teams getting 90% or more of the money are just 587 and 372. A 612 win percentage, still fantastic, but just 4.69 units. So the reason I say better beware, yes, 650 is an incredible win percentage to start the season, but history will tell us that that's going to come back. And if you haven't been involved up to this point, you don't want the tide to go back out to sea and your bankroll to go with it. So just beware of that. Now, let's put a filter of minus $1.50 and under in this, because these set of numbers indicated, hey, any money line will do. We'll put money behind anything. Well, we know that that's not true, and that's not the way to build a bankroll. So let's put a minus $1.50 to all the way to plus money on a filter on this. Teams getting 50.1% to 59% this year, minus $1.50 or with the plus money, are just 44-63. You can see it's a little bit more difficult when we put parameters on ourselves. Minus 19.76 units. 60 to 69%, 58-58. Again, going backwards, minus 41.92 units. 70 to 79%. Bettors are just 63 and 65, 492 win percentage, going backwards. Minus 4.83 units lost. 80 to 89%, 67 and 81, 453, a win percentage minus 19.38. So when we put a minus $1.50 on it, it's a little bit more difficult. But when we get over to the 90 to 100 again, it's the same situation. This year, 90 to 100%, 120 and 86. Bettors are winning 58.3% of their wagers, plus 17.94 units. Again, beware, because over the last 3 years, bettors are just 216 and 177, a 550 win percentage. That's good, but if you haven't been with us so far, you might be going back in the wrong direction as the season progresses. Still good over the last 3 years, but for 9.92 units won. So the moral of the story here is you want to get on those teams minus $1.50 or less that are getting the majority of the wagers, the mass majority of the wagers. And I'm talking 90 to 99. You'll never see 100, but 90 to 99% of the wagers, you want to get on those teams. And it looks like that if you want to go over that 150, it looks like the numbers are on your side. But again, just beware. And that's why it's so important to manage your bankroll. And in fact, this year, anything over 60% has given us just a little bit more of an advantage, but again, we're talking about having to lay, in some cases, more than $1.50, and that's just not good for your bankroll. So stick with that 90 to 100 range. You're getting a good team. You get plenty of action, even if you're putting a $1.50 filter on it. And again, enjoy the wins, because you will win more than you lose, but just make sure that you manage your bankroll properly, because this is telling us great start, it may not last. So that's your handicapping tip for Friday. If there's anything you want me to research, and I did get those notes today on the YouTube channel about a couple things we talked about, just didn't have the time today, but I will get to that, and I do appreciate it. Anything else you want me to research, just let me know. Drop a comment on the YouTube channel, and I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. And of course, please hit the like button. Guys, I appreciate it. Today was awesome. You guys really cranked up the like button. If I get to 200 likes, I'll give you a couple handicapping tips a day. I'll stay here all day and do this. So no problem doing that. Just let's get up to 200, because I want to make sure that people are actually watching this, and it's a lot of work that goes into these tips and research. So I just want to make sure that people are there to watch it. And as of now, we'll do one a day, and I appreciate everybody who has left just phenomenal comments. So thank you so much. That does it for your free plays today and your handicapping tip. Please go to pickdawgz.com. Get involved with one of my many available packages, including my all-access pass that gives you every play that I release from now to the end of 30 days, 90 days, next year, whatever you choose, whatever you're comfortable with. Here's your free plays for Friday. New York Mets, Chicago Cubs, over 8.5 plus $1.02. Arizona, Philadelphia, under 9.5. And Minnesota, Oakland, over 8. That does it for today's show. Thank you to everyone for watching on a daily basis. I appreciate it more than you know. For Against the Public, I'm Dana Lane. All the best to you and your wagers on Friday.